Olubenga Adetitun. I am live and direct on the Dr. Olubenga Adetitun YouTube channel. So in this live stream tonight, we are looking at my experience in forex trading, and I'll be having a guest that will be joining us tonight. So I'm waiting for the guests to come up, and the moment the guests come up, we are going to start in earnest. So I'm waiting for my guests, and I'm waiting for my guests to come up. So yes, hello. So as I was saying earlier, I'm waiting for my guest, and my guest is Mr. Ayo. And right now, Mr. Ayo is with us. Mr. Ayo is live and direct with me here now. So we are starting right away. And in this live stream tonight, we are looking at
is your first
a
online
very
impression.
important subject matter. Just a minute, please.
With GoDaddy email, get a professional address that matches your credibility and helps grow your brand.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for coming around this night. And can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you are welcome to this live stream, and you are on to Dr. Olubenga Adetitun YouTube channel. And you know me, and I know you, but the viewers at home don't really know you as much as they do. So I want to introduce yourself to viewers at home.
Okay, my name is Ayodele Kolawole, and I I finished from the University of Ilorin, computer science, and currently I also had a master's in artificial intelligence in Teesside University, United Kingdom. So I actually I I used to have I actually trade I used to trade forex then, and I have a lot of experience there. And currently, basically, what I do right now is I do more of
Yes,
investments.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The power supply at my end went up and just came back. So please take it again. Introduce yourself to our viewers at home, please.
Okay. Basically, what I do right now, like I said, I studied University of Ilorin and Teesside University, and for my master's in artificial intelligence, and currently, like I said I used to trade in forex, but right now I actually do more of investment in shares and stocks, basically, and that's what I do right now. So, and I'm happy to be live on this program today to come and educate you on some things that I know about some of these topics, shares, dividends, and stocks, like stuff like that. So thank you for having me here.
All right. Thank you for coming around. I really appreciate your your interest in sharing your experiences with our viewers at home. So, viewers at home, I am speaking with Mr. Ayo Kolawole, and he's a friend, and I know he's an investor. He's a forex trader, and he's a business-minded individual. And I invited him to this show tonight, to this channel, so that he can share his experience with us, and we can also learn from him. Personally, I learned from him in some way when we discussed informally those days. And I know that as you pay attention, you are going to get the benefits from this live stream today. Now, the question I want you to answer, I'll be asking some questions and I'll be expecting you to answer it. And then in about 30 minutes, we are going to call it a day. Now, let me ask the question: how did you get to know about forex trading, or how did you get to start trading?
Um, Basically, uh, I immediately I finished my studies and the university. I I got a job in banking sector. I was working there. I started off there as a copper, so I was retained, and I started working there for a while, maybe for a couple of years. And during the 2008 economic meltdown, which affected a lot of companies, and the Sanusi era that had to do with it, with ensuring that most banks will capitalize. A lot of banks lose their, they have to shed their staffs, so a lot of people are affected, and that was what necessitated people. Um, that's what actually made me start forex trading then. So I went through forex, and then I was able to know some things about it, which has actually helped me tremendously, in terms of making the investment decisions and knowing some rudiments of trading and investing. And
Okay.
basically, currently, what I do basically right now, like I say shares, but I was not really specific. I do what is called ETF. All right, ETF is exchange traded funds. Uh, I think basically by the time we continue getting this information, so I'll be able to at least share some things about the ETF that I know about that.
Okay. That's I understand that you started trading forex when the banks those days were asking their staff to go. So how did you learn forex trading?
Learning forex trading, trading then, what happened is that there are a lot of informations. I call it information paralysis because you go to Naira land. I'm actually one of those very very. I was fascinated about Naira. I go to Naira land. Inside the Naira land, there's a particular forum, the investment and the business forum. The link there. So you click on it, you have a lot of people. A lot of people tell you that they are actually into forex and they are really willing to learn or teach you about forex. But you discover that at the end of the day, based on my experience, most of those people are actually making money out of people. They don't really have solid experience in trading. So they just marketing, and then that's all. So to get viable information about trading is actually very difficult. All right. Then so I had to go through a lot of things and a lot of experiences before I landed into what is called Baby Peeps. BabyPeeps.com is a very sure and a clear way to get information about trading. If you are trying to, most people that want to go into forex, they want to think that forex is just a fast way to escape poverty or to escape, to become wealthy within a couple of hours. There's no business you can actually do that you expect that when you start immediately you're going to make $1 trillion. So most people when they want to go into forex, they are being given this wrong information that forex is going to make them to be rich in a night, which is actually not the case. Or the case is that you need to learn and you need to get the information about the rudiments of trading all right, before you can actually make significant, consistent profit in trading. It's not something that you go into and you expect instantaneous results. It is actually it has to do with a lot of commitment, a lot of training. Yeah, people do make money in forex basically, but basically I think it's more of the investment, the big boys inside the trading, that they don't really make loss. And the only way they do that is basically there's something called dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is a means by which you invest. Is what you also do when you are trading stocks or when you are trading commodities. All right, you invest. You are not timing the market. Most of us that we go into the forest, we use small time frames like the hourly, the 30 minutes, the 15 seconds, the 15 minutes time frame, so that we'll be able to time the market. Basically, market is not something you can time. You cannot time the market. Yeah, we have those people who time the market, and the people that actually make money from these forex, they are the people that that give you the accounts, that open the accounts for you. All right, those ones are the people that actually make the money from the forex,
The
because
broker,
the
that's
brokers,
the
stock
brokers.
forex broker, they don't want to make money, because whether you like it or not, you are not getting. They're not. Most of these people say they are regulated, but basically they're not really regulated. What they do is that they provide a platform for you to invest. When you invest and you make money, you are definitely going to lose the money back, because because it's not something that you can time. And there's a way they manipulate the charts such that your stop loss cannot beat they're going to find a way to ensure that the volatility cut short and cut off your stop loss, and then you're going to lose the money. But the big boys that actually make money in forex, they can invest a lot of money into the trading, and there's no how they will not make a loss. All right, so then I just started the forex, but then it was later that you now discover that these are what it takes to actually make consistent profits in the market. It's not about timing the market; it's about continuous investment, whether the market pays you back or not. But how many people have the patience to sit down and begin to expect that? So that's why we are saying the institutional traders, they are the one that actually make profits consistently in the market.
Okay. Now, you said a lot of things in the process of what you're saying. For a beginner now, what can you advise a beginner that want to go into forex trading?
For a beginner that wants to go into forex trading, first you need to first go to babypeeps.com and learn what you can actually learn everything you need to learn about how to trade forex. All right, because forex is
Baby Pips,
baby
BABYPIPS
yeah
dot com.
babypips.com. When you go to babypeeps.com, you now go to School of Pipsology. All right, you're probably going to spend a long time going through the rudiments of forex trading to be able to understand the time frames, the way the forex operates. All right, and those people that are actually involved in forex, what gives it like and is one of the largest uh, capitalized for as instruments in the world, because it's controlling over. I think currently now we're going to more than $5 trillion a day, right? Because there's no how you can actually do without investing in countries, they trade international trades. Definitely you're going to have what is called forex, and one of the most profitable PS is anything that is USD is actually very profitable, because there's no how you're going to invest, you're going to buy things. It's definitely going to be done in USD. AUD, USD, these are very liquid markets that you can easily buy and sell, unlike those other peers that don't have or maybe cross currencies. They don't really have so much liquidity. But when you have investment so when you go to piece of baby peeps, you're going to have a lot of information that you don't really need somebody, like for example now forex trading. Now you want to see, during those days you have to pay money to learn forex. Sometimes there are many times that charge as much as, I'm talking about now 2009, 2008, 2010. Sometimes I charge up to 15, 20,000 naira to teach people on forex trading within 30 minutes or 1 hour. Not even up to 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I'm done. I've gotten my money from the training. Right. Then what am I training them? I just train them on how to, open the charts, how to set time frames, and how to, put some stuff on the chart. You understand? So these are the things then when the information about forex was still not that very much. Though there are actually one thing I don't like is, when it comes to forex, I tell you exactly what it is. I'm not part of the people who sugarcoat people just to get people off their money. No, I don't do that. All right, I tell you exactly what it actually entails. But then it was actually good then because training people on to do forex is much more profitable than really doing it, because sometimes when you make the money, you want to over leverage yourself, and then this thing is about emotions, is about your ability to control yourself, ability to be disciplined. And how many people actually disciplined? Maybe you invest in, maybe you use you have like 500 USD in your account. Then 500 USD around then was around 75,000 naira. All right, so if I want to get USD, it's very easy for me to form my account with $500. Then it's around 75,000 naira. Right now, I think $500 is close to a million now, or maybe 750 or 800,000 naira.
Yeah.
$500 was what I use every day to form my account. So when you use $500, and that is, you have leverage of maybe 1 to 1. So I want to pick up 1 pips. For every 1 pips, 1 pips is going to give you $1. So I will do that leverage. Basically, for you to be able to do something like that, it is actually you are really going to be over leveraging yourself if you're doing that. All right. So if you have $500 in your account, all right, the best you can actually do maybe for 1 pip is maybe 1 to 50 maybe 50 cents. All right, 1 pip to 50 cents. And you discover that the maximum number of exposure for your account for every of your trades should not be more than maybe maximum of 1%, and the total leverage, the total exposure you should put yourself in market at every point in time should not be up to 5% of your trades. But how many people can actually be disciplined enough to stick to that? The only people who can actually make those kind of discipline are people that have a lot of money, that maybe you invest like $5 million. All right, those ones with just by one single pips, they can make so much money, right? And they are so much disciplined, to stick to those trades. But people that have just $100, how many people have $100 concept to even put in their account right now? $1 is around 150,000 or 160,000 naira. So these are the things that we actually are talking about. By and large, if you are disciplined enough, I think you will probably be able to go a long way in investing in maybe being successful in forex, and uh, that's it. But basically,
Yeah.
it is very
Let me,
important for you to go to baby peeps and learn everything you need to learn about forex before you start.
okay. These days, you have a lot of people train people how to trade. There's a training, there's a forex trading somewhere here, somewhere there, online, offline. Do you advise people to go to them to learn, or just maybe please? Some people cannot. The discipline of going is somewhere that discipline that can sit with baby pips, but someone that is not disciplined need to go somewhere where he will meet with somebody physically, and he has to be coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know places where they do training for 3 months, 1 month, and thereabout. So, what is your view about this? Some people do this training for 3 months, or even 6 months, where people go physically almost every day. What is your view about that?
Um, like I said, sometimes it's actually good for you um, to tell people the truth, right? Because at the end of the day, they are going to be the one to choose, all right, to choose between what they, people. Some people actually love to be deceived. I actually have to be very blunt. Some people love to be. They want the fast way. They want to have the shortcuts. But basically, the best place for you to learn forex trading is through baby pips, right? And if you don't have the opportunity, or if you don't have the time, and baby pips is just very close to you, just on your phone data, and then you're already learning it. But if you don't have the discipline to learn yourself, then probably maybe you can actually get somewhere where they can teach you. All right, people that are teaching forex trading now, they too they have children, they have wives, they have people that actually rely on them for basic financial needs. So they are definitely going to also make some money. All right. But it's only uh, good for you to tell people that the fact that because people, when they want to bring people to come and learn trading, they say that, yeah, come and learn, and then within 2 months, within 3 months, or within one day, you're going to make this you're going to make extra outrageous amount of money. That is where I don't. That's where I draw the line. Right? You don't promise what you can't offer, because if the people that are training people to learn forex are also making the money from the forex, I don't think they will train anybody. All right, nobody wants to show you it's in the secret. So people who really want to go into learning can actually go there, but it is very important for people to just take that. Uh, there is a significant risk involved in training, or in trading forex, or in trading anything. So if you are not ready to take the risk, all right, then you shouldn't come into forex trading. That is very important
Okay.
for you to state, for
Okay.
people that want to train, people that are training people, the
Okay.
trainers.
Thank you very much. My next question is that what do you think is the main thing that make people to lose their money in forex trading?
Um, Expectations. People who expect. People have been, many people have been given this orientation that when they start trading forex, within a few amount of time, they will make $1 million. So that is first. So when they get into the training, into the forex trading, they have that mentality, and then they lose all their money. So that mentality is actually number one. Number two, the discipline. People are not disciplined. Your ability to, your leverage. You need to make sure that you have trading plan that you stick to. You have people don't sit down to do a lot of demo for them to build a sustainable and let me say something that, as in a sustainable plan, or a strategy that is rock solid enough to ensure consistent profits. So if you don't have a strategy that ensures that you consistently make, because this strategy can actually take you years to build, because forex trading has to do with seasons. Things can, you have, during the time, you have to sometimes whereby the market can be so liquid, and there's going to be a lot of fire in the market, and there are some times where it's going to be very too quiet. Sometimes whereby you have a lot of liquidity, a lot of volatility. So you need to build strategy that will withstand those periods, and will be and will ensure that you are consistently profitable. So when you immediately you have built the patience to build that kind of strategy, then you now start testing. But people don't do that. They just want to rush into the forex, and then they rush out, and then they say that forex is scam. No, it's not scam. Basically, it is a viable way to make consistent profit. There was a time when I started trading. I I trade between morning, let's say around I always wake up around 1 a.m. I place my trade around 12 a.m. When I was in Nigeria, and by 6 a.m. I would have taken profit. By then I would have made, sometimes I think I made around $150 almost every day. Yeah, almost every day. I make it on USD pair. I make around $50 every day. Sometimes then I have actually left the banking sector, so I had moved to Ilorin then, and then I was actually, I had my own business that I was running, but I was staying with my mom would just come and wake me up. Alpha, have you been money today? I would say yes. So she always wants to wake me up. That maybe by around 12 o'clock she will come and wake me up, and me, I've already set my time. So because she knows that I actually make money every day on that forex, because I've already explained. Because most people think that this forex trading yahoo yahoo. No, it's not yahoo yahoo. So that's one problem that most elderly people don't get there. So, but during those periods, I discovered that the market was always very quiet. Was actually moving. It was steadily moving. So there was nothing like. So then I was actually making a consistent profit. All of a sudden, I think maybe because I wanted to over leverage, or because the market changed again. So then something happened, and all during those times, my this stop loss keeps keeps eating stop loss, so I keep losing money there. So you have to develop your strategy to the point whereby you can actually be confident enough to say that you consistently make profit over the period. So discipline is number one. Then the patience too is number two. You have to be patient. You have to learn. You have to learn and keep learning. So and you also need to ensure that you don't over leverage yourself, because if you have $100 in your account and then you now say you want one pips to equal to $1, if the market moves against you 50 pips, you're already off. You would be scared of entering the market again, because sometimes the news in the forest factory. These are the things that I say. If you really want to go into forest, you need to go to baby pips, because there's a lot of website that you will be shown into, like forest factory. Forest factory shows you where you can get when you can get the news. We have high impact news, you have low impact news, you have medium impact news. All right, there are some high impact news whereby it's always painted red. When you during those period, you should be off the market because it can move either way. So when you keep refreshing your laptop, if it is favorable to USD, then you know that USD is going to crush every other currency within those period of time. It could be 30 minutes and then to go back to status quo. And you need to be, most importantly, if you really want to trade, you need to ensure that you already know the trend, the major trend. And you can know the major trend by going to the monthly and the weekly charts. That is where you know the major trend. That's one of the speaking about forex. You cannot go against those major trends. You need to just go in accordance with the major trend. But people don't know that. They just think that chart, monthly chart or weekly chart, is too big, it's too much, but they don't know that that is actually where the secret is. When the chart aligns with the weekly chart, then you can come down to smaller chart like the hourly and the whatever minutes you have. Make sure that they are in accordance, they are in alignment with those big chart. Because that is where the trend is going to. All right. When you get there, then definitely you keep it, you make the money. But if you are against the chart, if you are moving against the chart, you're definitely going to be you are 100% safe being in alignment with the chart,
Trend,
with the trend.
trend.
The weekly trend and the monthly trend, they are very, very important. All right, so whatever.
Yeah.
Then you also need to look at the time you are actually entering the market. It has to be maybe most times between the cross of two markets. Let's say you have the Australian session and you have the London session. In Nigeria, I think starts at around 9 o'clock. Then you have the US session. All right, then you have the Tokyo session. So if you are entering the market, if you enter the market between the intersections of those sessions, you're likely going to be in a very good position to make consistent profit,
More
especially
liquidity.
especially if the monthly and the weekly trend aligns together with the position that you are taking. And then you don't overlever yourself. You have you stick to your already built um, uh, rock solid, sure-footed plan or your strategy. Then I think you're going to be uh, on the way to actually making consistent, because the most important thing is consistency. Right? If you make money today and you lose tomorrow, that's not consistency. That consistency actually has to do with consistently making profits over the period. And mostly you need to also look at the don't look at the immediate gratification. All right, you need to look at what you're going to gain from the market over the long time. Because most of us Nigerians, we always want immediate gratification. We don't want to wait. We just don't want to learn. We don't want to just tell me what I want to do and let me get out. And that's actually something that is actually also affecting most people, that make people to lose a lot of money a lot of money to their forex broker.
Okay. Now, if you are to now currently you are not you say you're not trading pari passu like that again, you're not trading forex now. Can you tell us why did you leave forex and move to other things, or what have you moved to?
Basically, forex is a very good thing, like I said. All right, and but over the period, if you really want to make consistent, you want to make then I was actually doing business, I was also doing forex. I've never actually left forex since 2009 anyway, because even if you are going to be investing in ETF or stocks, all right, you know that your knowledge of forex is going to take you a long way to understand the dynamics, the fundamentals, and the technical aspects. The fundamental actually has to do with the news, and the technical aspect actually has to do with the RSI and the stochastic and all those your indicators, right, and some other indicators like that. So I was doing business, I do IT stuff, and then but basically, if you really want to go into forest, you need to have time for the market. All right, it has to be. Sometimes it could be time consuming. All right, you need to ensure that you are very close to your forex factory. All right, to know the time the news is going to. But there is a way that we can actually, because I'm trying to build a system. I'm trying to build a system or an app. All right, where I'm going to actually try to do that. I was able to build an app and I put it on a hosting company. All right, I think, yeah, but I know actually I actually think that I didn't really proceed because he was good. He was supposed to be sending me some kind of market informations on my um, Telegram. Right, but I think I didn't really pay for that, so I actually stopped that. So basically, trading right now, because of the fact that we have what's called artificial intelligence (AI), well, I think it's actually going to give you somebody more time to be able to plan something, develop an app or an agent that will be sending you market information. But during those times, then I know that I didn't have enough time to stick with my laptop. All right, so I just had to just keep doing what I'm doing, going to work and coming back. I can't stay with the market, and then I don't have the money to put in the market, and because if you have the money and you put in the market, then you have a lot of responsibilities. Yes, sir. So if you have responsibility and you need the money, within a few time, you cannot put it in the market because you're going to over leverage yourself. You're going to make decisions that is not
Because you
that
want
is
to get the
correct.
money out.
So you're a family man, your children, you have to do this and you have to do that. You definitely find a way to let me just make a trade. And if you place a trade out of emotions, you're definitely going to lose money. So to be able to protect yourself, you have to just remove the money because you have a lot of responsibilities to do. So since then I've not really had time to be doing the market, but when you if you have then right now you said that what I am doing right now, basically I'm doing what is called exchange traded funds. Right, exchange traded funds is a way, there's what is called stocks. In Nigeria now, you have stock market, you have Dangote shares, you have all those shares. All right, and you also, I think you have Nigerian stock, Nigerian ETF as a whole that you can invest in. So ETF actually has to do with bringing in like hundreds, or like we have what's called SP 500. SP 500 means 500 of the largest companies in US. All right, you have and you have what is called ETF. ETF simply means
Like
like
the
it's like
S&P 500. S&P 500.
yeah. So ETF simply means like a kind of an umbrella that brings about a large number of stocks from different maybe it could be the same the same segment or the same sector or different sectors. You bring them together, all right, and you can actually leverage on all those and invest in them at the same time. All right, so you don't need to say, okay, fine, I want to invest in Coca-Cola. We know that Coca-Cola actually is a stock. If you want to invest in stock that brings you daily dividends, monthly dividends, Coca-Cola is one of them. There are some stocks, and I'm talking of the world stocks that actually give you consistent dividends. All right, but they might not actually be liquid in terms of the movement. All right, and in terms of their profitability, but in terms of consistency in giving you dividends, you can have them. So you have a lot of stocks, different places. You have a lot of the ETF actually has to do with a single ETF that has. Sorry, my battery is almost running out. So let me charge it. Then you have a lot. You have ETFs that actually has to do with a number of stocks. stocks, together, so that you can actually invest in them and then you make a profit there. So one of the reasons why it's actually very good basically is because you're not really committed to a particular stock, such that when there's a news, all right, about the stocks, and then that thing makes the cost stocks comes crashing down. So you have a world stocks, you have a ETF that combines all the stocks in the world. All right, you can invest like maybe 50 or 40% in that, and if you want to actually make a decision, it depends on the kind of person you are. It depends on your age. All right, there are what is called safe investment for capital preservation. All right. So if you want to do that for capital preservation, maybe you are above 80 years old. You don't want to overleverage. You don't want to take so much risk. You can do what is called um, um, capital preservation, or a very non-risky investment. All right, which is under ETF. You have what is called you have the medium risk, and you have the aggressive ones. All right. So if you are age 20 something years old, you can take aggressive risk, because that's definitely going to give you a lot of money over the. But this ETF is not a get rich quick stuff. It is something that if you go to calculator online, we have investment calculator. If you invest for a period of 30 years consistently, now every month you are putting in some money. Let's say you have like 10,000 naira or whatever every month. You understand? You go there, at the end of the day, in 30 years, you will discover that you have a lot of money. For example, if you invest, probably at the end of the day, you have like 20,000 you have invested over a period of 30 years. You're investing then 10,000, and you're supposed to make like 20,000, investments. You could discover that because of the capital appreciation and the compound interests, all right, you can be having like maybe 1 point something millionaire. So imagine if you have that kind of consistency over 30 years. So that is what we are. So you don't really need to time the market, whether the market is going to do poorly today, is not going to do poorly tomorrow. You are just investing. You don't care. Just keep investing. Yeah, you keep investing over the period of, and we discover that if you there's a book that I'm actually I think I've forgotten it. I don't know the book right now. It makes us to understand that if you really committed to investing over the period of 10 years, you understand, you are going to you are definitely going to break out. That is the standard. It has definitely, because the market goes the way the market go, it goes, up and down, up and down, up and down. It could go down, go up. So if you invest for a period, no, unlike Nigeria, I've actually heard this story about some people that have invested in some Nigerian stocks and markets since 2004, 2000, maybe 19 something something. And today, some of them, they went and discovered that their stuff is zero. It is, and the reason why that actually happened is because they invest in a single stock. All right, they didn't invest in ETF. All right, so it's very possible for your market to go down, because and one of the reasons why it's very good for you to learn about forex is that even if you are taking investment, or if you are taking ETF investment, or you are investing in any stocks, you will, through the knowledge that you have, in forex, about technical analysis, about fundamental analysis, you can be able to use the RSI, you can be able to use the stochastic or your indicators to be able to at least make an informed decisions. But if you don't know about all this forex, you will not be able to do that. So ETF is one of a very good way to invest for a long time, and for people that are that actually have the time, of course you can go aggressive. When you do aggressive, you're definitely going to have at least 10 years above. You are definitely going to break out.
In Nigeria, if somebody wants to trade ETF, if you want to invest in ETF, how can they do that?
In Nigeria, if you want to invest in ETF, I think um, there are some applications that you can
Like
actually.
like bamboo,
Huh? Yeah,
bamboo,
bamboo. Yeah, I think
and the
bamboo. Yeah, and
Afri Invest.
Afri Invest. I think
There's
Afri
a
Invest is about and
stock.
another thing that you can actually do for people that are in Nigeria. Yes, and there's this particular one that Stanbic IBTC is doing. Right, when you open the account, you can actually invest in things like federal government bonds or federal
Okay.
government savings bonds. I think if you have a lot of money. If you don't have millions, I don't think it's actually advisable, because you're going to be getting like maybe around 18-17%. In all these UK, US, you can't get those kind of interests. Though we
Wow.
know that Nigerian the inflation in Nigeria is a little bit higher, all right, and that is why that is why those interest rates too are very high. But if you consistently make a particular amount investing every month, all right, on those particular things, definitely it is going to compound, and it's going to beat inflation. I heard now that Tinubu is not trying to like put some tax over it. I think it's people that are making more than 10 million or 1 million. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with that, but I think I'm going to go actually how to get information about that. So if you're definitely going to make a consistent profit, investment. So there are a lot of investments in Nigeria that can actually make a lot of people, because I know a lot of professors in Nigeria that are actually using those funds. They are not touching their money at all. Right, sir? They have been making that investment since 1990 something or something. Right now, maybe they just remove their money, their yield or their dividends, and they use it to maybe pay school fees for their children. They don't touch their salary again. That's in Nigeria. I know of some professors in University of London that do that. So I think I'm very, very sure of that, because we chat a lot
That,
then when I was still there.
that is a lot.
So there are a lot of opportunities. If you want to do, you can go to, I think, Bamboo, and there are some other ones too. For people that actually want to get more information, you can go to Nairaland in their investment forum. But please, you have to be very careful. Some of those guys are actually interested in
Yeah, you have
collecting
to be
money from
careful
you.
not to give them your money.
Exactly. But you
You
get to
can get
learn.
information.
There's a particular link there it's about stocks, and there are some very reputable guys there that give you solid information, because they don't. Most of them, some of them don't even need your money. I think there are a lot of people there that actually, and there are some people there that are also they're also there to scam people. So you just
Yeah.
need to just watch out and get your informations, and then
Before we leave the forex, can you say that forex? Can somebody trade forex for a living, or is it better to do it as a side hustle?
um, that's kind of uh, nice, kind of sensitive. Um, the thing is, currently, I would not advise that you trade forex full time. All right, you can start it like a side hustle. All right, then you learn. When you learn, all right, but at a particular point in time, when you learn about trading forex, you can use that knowledge to build capacities for solid investments, like those ones in ETFs and those ones in federal government bonds and stuff like that. At that particular point in time, you can now say you are a full-time investor. All right, so you can decide to go do your forex, because by that time you would have gotten enough. You've gotten kind of liquidity that will enable you to that you have to make consistently sane decisions. Because if you have responsibilities to meet and you are invested in forex, you will take decisions that will definitely crash all your money. All
I
right.
think that is the main. I think that's the main reason why people crash their account,
Yeah.
because that money they are using to trade, they also want to use it to feed at the same time.
Yes.
So
So if you are in a
they are under
position
pressure.
whereby you will need the money tomorrow, next tomorrow, 1 month, 2 months long time, you can. I think I remember this guy, this comedian guy that what's his name?
Uh,
Uh,
Mark Angel.
yeah, Mike Angel comedy. He said he invested so much money and then he lost all the money. So you can see people when you begin to hear, because it's very good for you, as much as we're trying to teach people, to let people know about some of these investment opportunities around. We should also let them know the reality. The reality is that you do not we should not sweet mouth, or or trying to cajole people into making decision that is going to have a drastic effect on their financial status, because some of these things can actually be. So if you are going to invest, you should make sure that you invest what you can afford to lose. But if you can
Yeah.
afford to lose the money, don't invest it. So that's
You
why I'm
know,
saying that it is very good for you, before you can actually go into say you want to like be a you want to have this true, you want to have this as your sole means of making money, then you need to have some kind of, there's something called diversity. You have to diversify. You understand? Because even those people that are doing business now, look at Dangote. Now Dangote is invested in many things. All right, he's invested in cement, he's invested in sugar, he's invested in different things. So if you, before you can actually say
Refinery,
you, before
oil
you
and
can
gas.
actually say you want, if you find out, before you can say you want to, like, say this is what you want to do as a living, then make sure you have gotten to a point whereby you have a lot of investment in federal government bonds, a lot of investment in shares that are going to be giving you dividends every day, because there are some shares that you give you, like, I'm sure Dangote Cement gives dividends. They pay dividends. I think they have one of the very significant higher number of these dividends. I think maybe 6%, something like that. So when you have that kind of investment, you have investment in maybe real estate too, because even in this ETF, there are some ETF that actually focus on real estate. So you don't really need to own your house before you can actually make profit from. You just give it to those companies, reputable companies that have actually come within the umbrella of an ETF to invest money for people, and then they collect rent, and then they give you the proceeds. So there's a lot of people that does that, and so before you can actually say you want to go full time into investing or full time in forex, you need to ensure that you have built your capacity to the point whereby you have a lot of fallbacks, a lot of backups before you can say you want to go into full time this or full time that.
Okay. Now, thank you very much. Viewers at home, if you're just joining us, I've been speaking with Mr. Ayo Kolawole. He's a computer scientist and he's a forex trader. He's a businessman of many areas and he's an investment guru. And he recently relocated to the UK. And here we are discussing with him. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section below. Now, my next question is that what other businesses can civil servant, people like civil servants have some kind of cash flow in Nigeria, but you see them always complaining, salary is not enough, salary is not enough. So what kind of businesses can you advise civil servants to go into in Nigeria?
That, like, it depends on a lot of factors. First, what is your skill? You need to have a skill. If you maybe you have a particular skill, then you need to look at the skill. All right. If you want to go into a business without having the informations about the business, then you are probably going to lose a lot of money. So you need to have the skill. What skill do you have? Are you a mechanic? Do you know how to repair things? Do you know how to do the things? So your area of skill, your area of specialization, what you love doing is going to get you throughout those periods. Because if you are doing a business and you don't have a passion for that business, definitely it's going to crash. All right. But being the fact that we're actually right now into investment, into forex, then if you are a civil servant, you don't know where you don't have the time to monitor your business, and you don't have the time, then you find a way to go to maybe Stanbic IPTC investment app. They have their app. You can download the app. What you just need to do is just submit your information. I think you submit your NI and your it could be your NEPA bill or something that shows where you live. All right, and then you start investing for as low as 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira every month. If you have a lot of money, you can invest maybe 100,000 naira depending on what you have. Just keep investing every day and into federal government bonds, savings bonds. You can
Please,
treasury bills.
talking about the bonds, how does bonds work? Can you tell our viewers how federal government bonds work? I know of the Sukuk, I know of other bonds in Nigeria. How do they work?
Yeah, federal government bonds works in such a. It depends on the maybe number of years. I think there are some that are for 3 years, there's some that are for 2 years, and when you have all you just need to know is just to go to Stanbic IBTC, because they are number one in Nigeria, and you just open the accounts and keep investing there. I think what they give basically is, I think they give like maybe 16%. Currently now, I think it's 16% or 15% per annum. So if you have a cash flow, you have consistent money, you can be investing it every month. When you do that for a period of, just close your eyes to it. do that for a period of maybe 20 years, I'm sure that federal government bonds is and one of the things I say about federal government bonds is that it is backed up by the is it fealty
Federal
of the
government.
federal government. As long as the federal government is viable, yeah, as long as there's no war or something, yes, it is very safe. All right. And another, so these are just one of the ways by which you can actually use, and you can keep investing over the years. All right. And another thing that I feel people can actually go into, but those ones are also risky too. Properties in especially maybe in Lagos. If you have opportunity to invest in Lagos, because that place is crazy, man. You buy properties of 10 million today. Before the next year, you already have 20. Unlike in Lorry, whereby if you buy property of 10 million, maybe in the next 5 years, it will appreciate to 11 million, just 1 million. It is good. It's a good thing. It's actually okay. But if you really want to make the huge money, you go to Lagos. That
For
place is crazy, man.
those who have a small capital,
Yeah,
those whose
that place
capital
is
is
crazy,
small.
man. Because I heard of people that invested some money last 2 years, and this year is almost like times three. No, sorry, times. Okay, they invested maybe uh, some money, and then this year, I think they're now almost times two of the money. By next year again, it's going to almost like double again. So I was like, what the hell are you doing in Nigeria? So, but apart from those ones, because that money, you need to have a lot of money, but you can start with Sukuku bond, federal government bond. No, but you're not going to be the primary. You're going to buy from the secondary market, mind you. You can't get the primary market because primary market is always tensed up because a lot of people are already picking up
The
picking up
big
that
players.
space. Yeah, the big players will actually. So you go to if that's why you need to go to like a place like Islamic IBTC investment fund and to go and open the account, create an account, and start investing. Those ones are going to sell to you at the secondary market, and no matter how it is better than. So when you keep investing consistently, despite the fact that the inflation is 20 something percent, you're going to break even. Not only going to break even, you're going to compound your money. So you need to think over the long term. But when you are thinking on the short term, well, I don't know the
What about
salary
if
of a
somebody
engineer.
have if somebody have a windfall of like let's say 1 million, maybe did some kind of a job contribution and then makes 1 million maybe once a year. Basically, they can be putting it in this Sukuk bond then.
Yeah, that
What
is
do you
that
think?
is that is one way to do that. But even if you don't have that 1 million, no matter how small the money you have, all this you can just do a call direct debit mandate. There's a direct debit mandate form when you collect their form. You have the direct debit mandate form, so they will be debiting you a particular sum of money every month. All right, so that it keeps increasing your investment in them, and then over the years, you discover that you're going to have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
So these are one of the ways by which many professors in Nigeria, have been able to, to withstand some of these severe economic pressures, especially as it regards the kind of the incessant strikes and the inflation and all those stuff that are actually happening right in Nigeria. So
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo. What you are saying in essence is that we took off from forex, now we
mhm.
come into bonds and other businesses. So in essence, you are saying that forex is riskier compared with the others. So people should
Yeah,
diversify.
yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Um, you see, the thing is, the forex itself has the largest market capitalization in the world
Wow.
compared to every other investment portfolios. It has the largest because it's actually we're talking about $1 trillion. All right, in terms of the capitalization alone, I think maybe $6 trillion currently, and that is larger than anything. That is daily. I'm not talking of monthly or yearly. Daily. That is what exchange hands every day. About 6 trillion. Sorry,
Wow.
no. Sorry, it is the total market capitalization of forex. That is for $6 trillion. So you can imagine it is very large. Unlike stocks, U.S. stocks is around or maybe several hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah, some company in the USA has the capitalization as high as $1 trillion. like Microsoft. I think Tesla is getting closer. I think Apple too is around $1 trillion. So the entire capitalization right now, I think, should have shown all sorts of, but it is not all is not up to the entire forex market capitalization. So in terms of risk, forex is more riskier because you are going to be doing what is called leverage. You're going to be using leverage, all right? Unlike stocks, you can actually use leverage too in stocks. You understand? But most times it's always about buying. You want to buy, let's say the but you know, if you're using some of this app online, you can be what they call fractional shares or fractional ETFs. So let's say let's say Dangote share is selling for 200 naira, and you don't have 200 naira to buy. You can buy a fraction of 200 naira. Let's say you want to buy one, you can buy one for maybe 50 naira. So that's 1/4 of the entire stocks of the entire fractions that you are going to.
Before,
So
sorry to cut you there. Before we go to the Japa and Japada issue, I want to ask, what do you think about crypto? What advice? When Bitcoin was so $1, $1, people were not taking part. Now Bitcoin is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what do you think about cryptocurrency generally?
crypto, cryptocurrency, basically is another thing like forex too. Yeah, it's but it's also a very it's an advanced stuff on its own, different from forex and different from every on stocks, and it's also very very risky. All right, very very risky because many existing infrastructures are actually feeling that crypto is they are actually being threatened by crypto, right? But because most central banks, they don't want crypto to exist because there's something called decentralized. Most of these things are decentralized, so you don't have a particular federal government controlling them. All right. So if you have something like that, many banks around the country, around the world, will feel will feel threatened about this and about this crypto. Anybody can just go ahead and mine currency. Anybody can just go ahead and you two can just go ahead and say, my name is AY. I'm saying AY coin. I'm selling AY coin, and then you put it out, and then you can see some of what Trump coin. There's Trump coin. There was Trump coin, and within few days now, Trump coin went so crazy that people buy them, and within 2 days, everything crashed. So people make money and people lose money. So the same thing with the Melania and a lot of people. So people are actually making money from this stuff. But all the same, even the crypto is not only the thing. You have what is called gold. You have the gold because at the end of the
Yes,
day,
good. Yes,
the
good.
market, the economy of the world economy is actually getting scary every day. U.S. economy, and most of the policies that U.S. is bringing us right now is a little bit making people to be worried about the future of the entire global economy, and you cannot tell. So everybody is trying to, but most importantly,
The price of gold kept going up, going up, going
exactly.
up.
So many people are actually trying to, like, okay, let me just move away from what is existing right now and go to buy gold or silver. All right. So, and silver is a particular thing that people use to build many many AI chips. All right. So you can discover that silver too is going up, and many of the economy around the world are trying to, even like I heard of South Africa are trying to reduce the exposure to US dollars. All right. So, and the only way you can reduce your exposure to US dollars is to try to buy gold. All right. You can see the BRICS, what the BRICS is doing. You can see the unpredictability nature of Mr. President Trump. So everybody is scared of the USD and what is going to be. So most people are not trying to, like, let me just go into invest in gold. So gold is one thing that people are trying to buy right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years, in the next 10 years, gold is going to be like times three. So that's another thing that people should look out for. You can also buy the silver. Silver is one thing that, most of the fight that is actually happening right now in terms of rare earth that Trump is trying to buy, or is trying to negotiate with Greenland. is trying to go into, most of this are about rare earths. And and rare earth is one of the major things that people use to produce AI chips. All right, and you know that there's a serious war between the US and China in terms of AI chips and stuff like that. So silver is one of the things that people use to produce some of these chips. So it's very, very certain that these things will definitely go up as well. So you can go to all these. I think then when I want to buy good, I always go to market. Patama, is it Pata market, right? Market, Oja. I'll go to meet all these Hausa
Malam.
guys, and I will buy
Yeah.
Malan. I'll buy gold. So you can invest in gold. It is going to appreciate
Then
in
when you
value.
need when you need liquid cash, you go back to them and sell it to them.
Yeah, well, I would prefer that it's being kept for a very, very long time. I would prefer that it's being kept for as much as 10 years. These are just investment opportunities because definitely, and there was a time when I think 2000. What there was a particular year when the oil crashed to negative zero, negative. It crashed to zero, negative, beyond negative. Then I was in Nigeria. I didn't have money. Then it was serious. If somebody had invested in oil, then you know how much oil is being sold right now. Okay, no, sorry, it was during the time of COVID. Was it COVID-19? I think it was COVID-19 period when some of this thing crashed
Yeah,
seriously.
people were not moving. Nobody was moving around too much. Everybody was
Yeah.
indoor.
So, and from the way I'm saying things now, if uh, chairman in USA keeps going the way it's going now, something like that is going to happen. So if you have, imagine if you have liquid cash and you been doing those periods, invest and you wait for 2 years now, 2 years or 3 years, you discover the thing is going to appreciate because that's probably maybe what people are trying to do now. So people are actually trying to get a lot of money to be able to invest. And if you are, see,
Our time is fast spent. Can we just talk
okay,
about relocation, Japa? Many Nigerians are traveling abroad, and recently some are traveling back. What's your view about this? Those who are traveling abroad, those who are traveling back. Some are saying that it's not what they expected. Some are happy. Some are saying this and that. So, what's your view about this?
uh, the thing is this: you need to also understand that before. All right. There's something called protectionism or something like that. I think protectionism. There was globalization. It was globalism. There are these globalists there. So now, currently, what is reigning right now is the protection. Everybody is trying to like secure their borders. Everybody's trying to ensure that they don't have too many because a lot of people have actually traveled out of the country. And when Trump came, he was complaining he's going to deploy a lot, and he's still doing that right now using the ICE agents. And you can see that a lot of people. There's this news around that people are now trying to boycott the World Cup. That because of what's actually happening in the US and all that. So and the same thing is actually being revisited here. A lot of people, a lot of immigrants are moving out of the country and they are moving to different Western countries. But at the end of the day, discover that it's getting too much. People are getting a lot around here, and these guys are also looking at these people. They are taking their jobs, they're taking their clinic, and they're taking their. Oh, but there's a lot of misinformation from these people. They don't know that most of us are here. Most of us are actually here legally, unlike what their people are saying, their politicians are saying. All right, and if you are here legally, you have to pay a lot of tax. Okay, I was talking to one of my friends in Nigeria. I said, if you're making £1,000 in Nigeria, and someone that is making £1,000 in Nigeria, and someone that is making £4,000 here, understand that the person that is making £1,000 in Nigeria is better off than someone that is making £4,000 here, right? Because that £4,000 is just the same thing as you're making maybe like £2,000, because for that £4,000 means that tax is going to automatically take 1,500
Wow,
tax. That is the income tax will take like 1,500
wow,
from that 4,000. How much is to remain? Let's say let's even say income tax takes 1,000, making 3,000. All right, then you have what else? You have council tax. Okay, you have road tax. All right, you have what else again? You have council tax. You have road tax. Then you have insurance on your car. All right.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, then you have the bills. You have the NEPA bill. You have, sorry, I said NEPA bill. You have the energy bill, which is gas and electricity. All right. When you talk about all those ones, all those bills, 2,000 is already gone. That is, I'm trying to even be very, very, to make sure, to even make it look attractive. Out of there is remain £2,000. Now, £2,000, you understand? You have £2,000 in your account. And that's within £2,000, you can you still then definitely need to send to your parent at home and stuff like that. At the end of the day, then that is food is not there yet. You have to buy food maybe in
You have to buy
4 months.
clothes too.
That's one five
Clothes.
hundred five. That is so at the end of the day, you have £1,000 with you. Yes, you have to fuel cars, you have to do all kind of things. So the tax here is crazy. I heard Anthony Joshua made 19 million out of his fight in Guinea, and what comes to him is 35 million because US government took 30 million, UK government took 30 million, so he's left with like
Wow.
30 something million. And if he doesn't
Wow.
pay it, he's likely going to go to jail, like all these big stars. They actually watching this. So the tax is crazy here. That's why most people are trying to build something here. They want to invest here and they want to run back to this country because working here is actually crazy. If you don't have, and the white collar job are not that much available here. So you have to get used to. You have to get with what you have. Maybe you're going to all these warehouse jobs, and that warehouse jobs, you have to work. Sometimes you have to work 12 hours stretch. Every day you work 12 hours. At the end of the day, that is when you work. That's 60 hours. When you work 60 hours, when you get paid, tax will collect like 25% already off. Then that's income tax will collect 25%. That 25% goes that is if you're making less than the threshold of I think 40,000 a year. But if you're making above that, I think it's 40% already. 40% will be cut from your money. So out of that, and you are still going to pay for insurance, you're going to pay for road tax, you're going to pay council tax and everything. So people are trying to like invest a little bit here or maybe do something that is going to make them to be having that foreign exchange and then run back to the country. Now, not people are not. Nobody is trying to stay here forever. Everybody is trying to run back. Forget that thing. Yes, sir. This place is not. Is not.
That means people are trying to build capacity and then come back to Nigeria.
Yeah, people want to make a lot of people want to make that money and get out because this place is crazy, man. Yes, sir. And even their government is not even making things easy. Yes, sir. There's a lot of misinformations here. The immigrants are the one taking our jobs. Of which these people they can't do the job that most of us are doing here. Yes, sir. They can't do most of these jobs. Yes, sir. Even if you are into IT, you want to do into how many people actually? Many of them don't even go to school. Yes, sir. They don't go to school. Even the opportunity that most of us actually have to come to these places is because of the education. Come here to come and study. Most of them immediately they finish from secondary school, they go to start working, and even do that. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, it's like the network. I can hear you now.
Hello.
Go on, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So this place is not that much of bed of roses, you understand? But one thing is, if you have opportunity, like most of these all these content creators, you understand? If you are doing content creators in Nigeria and you're making the dollar, you are better off than most of us here that are, doing all kinds of stuff because you are probably not even going to be paying anything in tax. Here, if you can't escape it, they'll tax you from the source. So the tax is collecting significant amount of money from. So basically, and even these days now, they have reduced the number of people coming to these places. The education, they have completely cut it off. You understand? And so, like I said, a lot of people are still moving out completely from here. Some people are saying that in the next 2-3 years they're already moving. They're going back to Nigeria because Nigeria is still in terms of everything. You can still sit down in Nigeria and not even go to work for several months or several weeks and then be okay. But yeah, if you try it, you're in trouble. Because your bills will be whether you work or you don't work, they will send you bill and you must pay.
Now, thank you, Mr. Ayo Kolawole, for your time. We've been speaking with you for about 1 hour now, and I want to thank you for the enlightenment you are given to viewers on the Dr. Oluwinka YouTube channel. If you are watching this recorded or live, please, I want you to subscribe to this channel, like and share. So we have discussed about Forex, discussed business, discussed education, discussed relocation to advanced countries, and many other things that you can do. If you have questions or comments, you can drop it in the comment section of this video, and we shall be glad to respond. Now, Mr. Ayo, I want to give us a final word, talking about bringing us back to Forex. What is your final say about Forex, about businesses in Nigeria generally?
Yeah, what I would just say is that it's very good. I just want everybody to try to increase their capacity, in terms of learning, in terms of AI, because AI now has actually come to stay, and you need to, in terms of there are a lot of opportunities that there's a lot of things you can actually do online or offline, as in online basically, because
Can we,
basically right now what we are.
sorry to digress. Can we have another interview like this just on AI, how to make money with AI? Can we look at another day, maybe next week?
Yeah, there's no problem.
All right. So,
Yeah.
so viewers, you've had that. By next week, we'll have another one talking about delving into AI. I also have been seriously looking at AI. I know ChatGPT, I know this, I know that, but I still want to know the nitty-gritty, because I think they are saying that AI is a new gold now. It's a new gold. Those days it was this internet, it was this, it was that. Now everything is pointing towards AI. So thank you very much. You still have the floor. You still have the floor. You can go on.
Okay. Yeah. What was I saying? I said that
Yeah, you're
it's
talking
very good
about
for you to.
AI.
Yeah, it's very good for you to build capacities. There are many things that you can actually do with AI. Even this forex trading. Um, Basically, I think I was able to create a. I was able to create, but I actually didn't do that. That because I was focused on some other things else. Is a way by which you can actually use to ask to get a strategy that is tested and then trusted, and then you put on a cloud, deploy it on a cloud, and it will be giving you a consistent signals, personally every day. So you ensure that you are, because most times the decisions that we make as person can be flawed. All right, but when you put the decisions in the hands of a of something so powerful as artificial intelligence, all right, it is going to ensure that all constraints are checked before decisions are made. But humans, we want to make decisions, whether these signals, whether whether your uh, elements are not yet checked or are not yet complete, or understand. But the AI will ensure that they are checked, they are complete before decisions are sent to you, and then you can actually make your. So it's, in a way, it's not like it's creates something like a robotic way, or like an automated way of making informed decisions. All right, our decisions is based on emotions, all right, based on sentiment. But if we put these decisions in the hands of a, a, a powerful intelligence that is not restricted, or that is not influenced by some of these environmental pressures of that we most of us face, it is most likely going to ensure that we make informed and better decisions. So, but basically, it is very good for us to make use of the limitless opportunities that is encapsulated in artificial intelligence, and be able to make ourselves better for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for your time. We've been speaking with you for the past 1 hour. So we shall have another time with you next week. We'll be talking about artificial intelligence. And in that time, we will see, expose and explore more business opportunities for our viewers to benefit from. So I want to appreciate you for your time. And I really want to thank you on behalf of everyone who is going to see this video, who have seen it now, and those who see it after now. I thank you for your time. And I want to say a good night rest, and We wish our Super Eagles the best as they play Morocco this night. Yes. So thank you very much.
All right.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.